Michael Carrick's tactics against Man City, can we recreate them in eFootball? Carrick's first match as United's new manager ended with a dominant victory in the Manchester derby. Can we recreate Carrick's counterattacking tactics in eFootball? Just 32% possession, but way higher expected goals. How did Carrick's United put out such a good game? We will first look at Pep's tactics, then look at how Carrick's 4-2-3-1 was effective in both attack and defense. With Semenyo joining Man City recently, as well as Rodri slowly starting more games after recovering from his injury, Pep went back to his old possession-based approach in this match, deploying two wide wingers. On paper, it was a 4-1-4-1. Rico Lewis started as the right back because Matheus Nunes had the flu, so as usual, Lewis was an inverted fullback. He operated in the right half space, so the actual formation was almost like a 3-4-3. Theoretically, this formation should help City take advantage of the half space when Dorgu pressed high and Manu left his position. But how did Carrick's United defend in a way that City only had an XG of 0.45? United's general defensive formation was a 4-4-2 or a 4-4-1-1. The front two, Mbeumo and Bruno Fernandes, didn't apply too much pressure on City's center backs and the keeper, and instead focused more on protecting the midfield. Carrick's priority was keeping the midfield and backline from being in a numerical disadvantage, and to achieve that, the two wingers defending was very important. Manu was the less defensive one of the two pivots, so Dorgu needed to rush back to the midfield line quickly after attacking high in a counter. The other pivot, Casemiro, has good defensive awareness, but Ahmad still had to track back deep. Ahmad had one specific man-marking target, Doku. Ahmad sprinted back to stay close to Doku when he was on the ball. This prevented City from forming a 5 versus 4, and United formed a temporary back 5 whenever needed, forcing Doku to dribble through multiple players. This, along with Luke Shaw's defensive positioning on the left, allowed Lisandro Martinez and Maguire to have a smaller area of responsibility, focusing on positioning and intercepting dangerous passes. Martinez had an excellent game defending against Holland. Ahmad's marking on Doku also baited Ake to progress the ball higher, which further exposed the weakness of City's back three. Now we move on to analyzing why United's counterattacks were so good. When United regained possession, they mainly attacked with long passes. The three main long ball targets were Dorgu, Mbeumo, and Bruno Fernandes. Shaw and Martinez would often send accurate long passes forward, bypassing defensive lines, so the front players could overload City's back three as quickly as possible. Bruno and Mbeumo were therefore key players in converting long passes into actual chances. Both would drop deep between the lines to receive the ball in central areas, then pass to the wingers Dorgu and Ahmad, who immediately ran in behind, most of the time forming a 4 versus 3 as quickly as possible. The left-footed left winger Dorgu would often cross into the box, while the left-footed right winger Ahmad focused more on shooting and cutting in, with Dalot also complementing his movement on the right. As mentioned before, Dorgu was also a long pass target. Why? Dorgu's position directly matched up with Rico Lewis, and Dorgu's height and physique gave him a huge advantage in both ground duels and aerial duels, allowing United to connect the counterattack after a long pass. Manu would also occasionally join the counterattack run, sometimes giving United 5 players attacking at once. As a result, United challenged Donnarumma many times and ultimately scored 2 goals. One came from a 4 versus 2 counterattack after a set piece, and the other goal was Dorgu outmuscling Lewis after a pass from Cunha, who replaced Mbeumo and had a similar role in attack, with more control and creativity but less pace. Overall, Carrick's tactics perfectly countered Pep's and exploited the back three. The team playstyle we should use is definitely long ball counter, low defensive line, vertically compact, and attacking with direct long passes. Here's the formation: a 4-2-3-1 shape with an LWF, an RMF, and an SS. This formation can replicate Carrick's strategy of Bruno Fernandes and Mbeumo controlling and playmaking in the middle, with the two wingers making the off-ball runs. The instructions are as follows: attacking on Dalot, defensive on Shaw unless you use a defensive fullback, deep line on Dorgu, and the last slot is for the RMF Ahmad. We assign Ahmad man marking on the opponent's widest attacker on the left, like how he tracked Doku relentlessly in real life. We can use any keeper to play as Lamens. Then Martinez can be a build-up or destroyer and should be more nimble and good on the ball. Maguire is a tall build-up CB. The left back, Luke Shaw, can be a defensive fullback or just any fullback with the defensive instruction. Then the right back, Dalo, can have any playstyle except defensive fullback. Casemiro is an anchorman or destroyer. Mainu is a box-to-box midfielder who's good on the ball. Bruno Fernandes can be a hole player or a creative playmaker. Diallo can be any fast left-footed winger at RMF. Dorgu should also be left-footed, and he plays at LWF. Any playstyle can work. Then Mbeumo, the SS, can also have any playstyle except Classic 10 because you expect this player to make runs in behind. Then the sub-SS, Cunha, can be a creative playmaker, deep-lying forward, or a hole player. Here's the formation, the full team, the instructions, and the table of players. Let's see this team in action in 3 online division matches, and we can analyze its effectiveness against different types of opponents. We make Ahmad Manmark Messi, who's the opponent's left SS.
That they can overcome whatever the opposition throws at them, and he leads by example, of course, and will probably come up with something. Great chance! Anything that close to the frame of the goal. 99
We use the strategy of having Mbeumo and Bruno making passes to the wide runners.
Manchester United are already chasing the game. They didn't envisage that. Rafinha is in a really good position out wide. That could spell something. It's a shot! To hit back, and then there is nothing.
The same strategy.
Less. Oh, one moment you're in possession, the next you're picking the ball out of your own net. That one will stick. The danger was all shoots. For the time being, Shaw. Spread it left. Right in! Vicious ball here. This is Messi. He's onside. He's seen that early. He's the sixth sense.
Ahmad Manmarks Messi and strengthens the defensive width, and Bruno also tracks back because of the long ball counter AI.
This. Maybe Rafinha. Smartly reclaimed. Great vision. And he's picked out the run.
A left-footed left winger like Dorgu is crucial for sending good crosses into the box.
That's an excellent interception. He just couldn't take out that killer ball. Martinez gets across to intercept that. And this is from Mario. Ajax really might just end up kicking themselves after that. That could well have been
another typical counterattack. It's important that we get the ball to Mbeumo and Bruno so the wide runners have time to reach dangerous positions.
Oh, he's played it in low. Just 5 minutes left. Well read. That is as far as it goes. Manchester United have done it with iron.
Well, the opponent doesn't have a winger. Let's make Ahmad Manmark their left CF youth. Ahmad's man-marking helps him intercept the pass to the youth.
The list is too long for me to mention them now. I'll settle on lethal. And he shoots! For either side, actually. Oh, smashing header! To it. A goal to launch his new life, his new chapter. A wonderful delivery, and all it needed was a touch. So well played, Peter. Did a great job keeping sight of the ball. Made a classic. He's had a shot! It's in! The finish, sumptuous. Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed. That has certainly made things interesting. And a chance! And yes, it's there!
The opponent uses defensive level 2. Now we can see the weakness of our tactics. It's hard to attack when we are on the possession dominant side.
And here's Forlan.
Forlan really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
Can he latch on to this? He's got ball. Now the man.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should...
My mistake for overpressing with De Ligt.
At this stage, there's plenty of time left yet.
Here's Bell. Tries a shot! In for the pieces! And he hits somewhat.
They've seen the light and the opposition have been left in the dark.
He's picked his way through. That is a brilliant interception. They've got to be quick to recover this. Time perhaps for one last twist before half-time. That looks a decent ball. Plays one through. Oh, shooting chance!
Ambitious change.
Might be danger here. Well, he got rid. Plenty of really nice passing. Bastoni does well to get it back. Aims beyond the defence. And he's onside. He's beaten the last man. And the shot! It's in!
Supply the finish, and he came up trumps.
And that means
I think it's pretty clear now. When we are on the possession side, this tactic isn't as effective as when we are on the defensive side.
Manchester United perhaps wondering what the best time is for their next substitution. Robertson is one of the key ingredients in the team's attack. Bastoni, Zanetti, and Bastoni, Van de Ven. Robertson. Has a shot! Well, and it's Bruno Fernandes. Well seen, saw that. And there goes the final whistle. Manchester United can look back at...
The opponent uses 4-3-3. Hopefully he's going to have more possession. This time Ahmad man marks Neymar.
So it's down to business here.
I think
Lissandro's long pass, then Bruno and Mbeumo control the ball and distribute it to the wingers. Now it works because this opponent isn't parking the bus.
the highest order. There's someone down there who always stands out.
No prizes for guessing.
It's Sheva, Ondrej Shevchenko, Pochenko.
Can he latch on to this?
Ahmad's man marking on Neymar is working.
It's a decent clearance. And he's quick to snatch it back. Good running, strong and purposeful. Oh, good take in a good area.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Laid back in, and he welcomes it in. Drives it in to Bicep.
You can never be short of runners in the space, as long as the space left behind is filled.
Diogo Dalot did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise.
That appeared to...
Thiago is the team's great visionary. And he's managed to get free. Kaká! Lovely feet.
Again, Ahmad's man marking improves our defense when all defenders are back defending.
While facing up to his adversary, this is a formidable matchup. And this is Shevchenko. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest.
Mainu's role is actually also very important in counterattack. These long cross-field passes help accelerate the counterattack.
Knocks it into space. Real chance!
See here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
Oh, nice touch. Well, the defence proved infallible.
This tactic really thrives when there's counterattacking space.
Well read, almost never outsmarted. It's Roberto Carrick.
Well, Peter, if they're attempting to see out the game with such a narrow advantage, there's room for trouble. I just think they're sending out the wrong message. This could backfire.
Bruno Fernandes!
Number 13, Rafinha.
Big header!
To try and kill this off, and for me, it looks like they've just about done it.
Anthony making good progress on the right-hand side. He has found the way for it.
The GOAT, the real GOAT, the undisputed GOAT.
There's the shot! Pedro Neto. And that's it.
As always, thank you for watching. What do you think about Carrick's tactics in eFootball? I hope you have a clear view of its effectiveness under different circumstances.